All right, the main event is just 2 days away of UFC 294, Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski. And today, I'm going to run through quite a few reasons, good reasons, why Islam Makhachev is going to win this fight. Okay, the first fight was very close. Islam Makhachev got the job done. Raised a close decision, but he had the hand raised, and now he is 1-0 against Volkanovski. If he gets the job done this weekend, he wants to challenge the winner of Leon Edwards and Colby Covington and become a two-weight world champion, because he said there is many UFC champs out there. There's many, but there's only a handful of two-weight world champions.
Now it's a rematch. Second fight with Oliveira. It's not so good for the legacy. I need some new names, second belt.
And he wants to join that list. So a lot of motivation coming into this one. So first of all, where do we start? As I said, he's already won. He's already beaten him. He's already proved that he can do it. Okay, so there's that kind of momentum already for Islam. And of course, as we know, Volkanovski is taking this on short notice. So that, big revelation, Bisping. Yeah, but that is one of the reasons. He's at a full camp. He's going to be better prepared as the fight progresses, as it gets to the later rounds. Volkanovski's not Superman, okay? He is going to get tired, and one of the main reasons that he's going to get tired is the wrestling. Wrestling is the hardest and most taxing part of mixed martial arts. Trust me, I did it myself for a long time. This is not an opinion. This is a fact. Wrestling zaps your stamina, your cardio, your ability to breathe like nothing else in the sport. Jiu-jitsu is one thing. Striking can get you tired, but wrestling, oh my God, wrestling will exhaust you pretty quick. And Islam Makhachev wrestles every single day, coming from Makhachev, Dagestan, okay? It's just kind of, it's almost in their DNA, right? And of course, let's remember his head coach, number one training partner, cornerman as well, Khabib Nurmagomedov, the greatest of all time, according to a lot of people. Some people have John Jones, but regardless, we're splitting hairs. Khabib is in the conversation for the GOAT, okay? And having him in the training camp every day is going to be so valuable, okay? You're only as good as the people that you train with, and he's training with and coached by the greatest of all time. So that is a massive advantage. And let's remember, Khabib wasn't there in Perth, Australia, okay? He will be there this time. He's been in Abu Dhabi for quite some time. They're playing football for $10,000. Khabib's having a great time, and they feel extremely confident. So the mindset is good coming into this one. He's got his coach there. And let's remember, he's got to make weight. Making weight's going to be tough for Islam. Why? Because he's naturally the bigger guy. And let me tell you, that will have an impact in the fight. If you take two extremely skilled mixed martial artists, the bigger and the stronger guy will always win. Now, granted, some things can happen. Maybe you zig when you should have zagged, etc. But generally, the bigger, stronger guy will be a smaller guy if the skill levels are all equal. Now, Volkanovski has said that he had a smile on his face ever since he got this contract. But on the flip side, Islam is under a lot of pressure. Now, as we know, pressures make diamonds. But it's true. The pressure is what forces you to succeed, is what forces you to level up, if you will. He knows last time out against Volkanovski, it was a close fight. And he knows there's a possibility that maybe they could have raised his hand. So coming into this one, and yes, granted, originally he was going up against Charles Oliveira. But not much has changed, right? The game plan for Islam is going to be exactly the same. Take him down and try and choke him out. Try and get mounts. Try and ground the pound and try and finish him in any way possible. The game plan wouldn't have been to stand and trade on the feet. So in that respect, not a lot has changed. Now, we've got to remember, Islam has pressure, but he also has the preparation. He has momentum. He has a victory over him, and he has an opportunity to close the chapter, to close the book, to shut Alexander Volkanovski up once and for all and close this debate over who is the best fighter. And he wants to be the pound for pound number one. And one would think that with two victories, and certainly a victory where he finishes him, gets the submission or a TKO, that would obviously make him the pound for pound number one. More than likely, right? You got to think. Another thing to think about, the first fight, Perth, Australia, Volkanovski's backyard, his home country, didn't have to fly, didn't have jet lag, all the rest of it. Well, now the tables have turned. It's now Islam Makhachev with the hometown advantage. So he only had a very brief flight, okay? And that means no jet lag. That's a big one. He had a full camp, as we know. But when he's there, he's going to have a tremendous amount of support and resources. I'm not just talking about in the crowd on fight night, okay? Because the crowd cheering for you, listen, that's great, it's fantastic, but ultimately it's two men in there, okay? And that can help a little bit, and it can maybe have a negative impact on somebody less strong-minded than a Volkanovski, but I don't think that's going to be a big factor. But leading up to it, he's going to be very, very comfortable, okay? They are going to be rolling out the red carpet for Islam Makhachev, okay? The reason the UFC is in Abu Dhabi is because they are partners and they love their Dagestanis and they love their Muslim brothers, and rightly so. So the resources, they're going to be second to none for Islam Makhachev, where on the flip side, as I said, now it's Volkanovski flying off to the other side of the world, not having his regular type of foods, things that he would have had at home in Australia. He's going to deal with the jet lag. They don't even speak the same language. You know what I'm saying? Although they do all speak very, very good English. Now, motivation. Islam Makhachev wants to punish Volkanovski. Why do I say that? Well, look at this. Remember last time, right? All the accusations from Dan Hooker and other people in the team of Volkanovski about the IV, saying that Islam Makhachev was a cheat. Okay? That's a big accusation. That's a big accusation, and regardless of who was in the right or who was in the wrong, I wasn't there. I don't know. Islam says they didn't have an IV. Volkanovski and his team said that they did, right? They're calling Islam Makhachev a cheat, okay? He's pissed off deep down. I'm telling you, oh, this brother, he wants to smash his face in, okay? Now, we get to the real matter of this. Alexander Volkanovski has said that he's coming for the KO. Why has he said that? Well, of course, because he knows he's being realistic. He can't go 5 rounds. And I'm sorry to keep coming back to that point, but I'm going to elaborate for you. He knows he can't go 5 rounds because he doesn't have the conditioning that Islam's going to have. That's just a fact. Khabib pushes them to the limit. I did an interview with Bilal Muhammad, and he told me about the training sessions that they go through. Unbelievable.
It's like an army when Khabib walks into the gym. Like, beforehand, we're all sitting there stretching out, talking. But when he walks in the gym, everybody lines up. He tells you, yo, you're sparring in the cage, you're sparring on the mat, you're doing this, you're doing that. There's no joking around. And if you're, even in the warm-ups, if you're doing like a bear craws or crab walks or something, if he sees you going soft, everybody does it again. If he sees you not, not fully going at it, you do it again.
And you got to think, Khabib's going to be like, listen, that one against Volk, that was kind of close. The first fight with Charles Oliveira, you wiped the floor with him, but we can't take any chances. So we got to level up this time. So you can guarantee that Islam is in the craziest shape, and Volkanovski's going to come in, he's going to look to swing. That means he's going to be overly aggressive. When you get overly aggressive, you make mistakes. Now, I'm not talking about the mentality of Volkanovski because he's very experienced, he's very cool, calm and collected, and he's composed in there. But if you are swinging, if you are looking for the knockout with every shot, you get tired quicker. That's just a fact. And if he's being overly aggressive, he's going to create the scrambling situations. Is going to enable Islam to grab the clinch. In the first fight, if Volkanovski went in, he would switch stances, orthodox to southpaw. He would swing with a right hook. Then he would roll away and use his footwork and angles to get away. As the fight progressed, he stopped doing that because he started getting a bit more tired. And every time Islam would just grab him, he would grab him in a tire clinch. He would punish him with knees. Anytime he got his hands on him, for the most part, he was starting a wrestling situation. And Volkanovski did a really good job of defending and getting back to his feet every time he was taken down. But with the conditioning, once it gets past round 2 to round 3, 4 championship rounds, the takedowns are going to come easier. Islam is going to grow in momentum. He's going to feel that he's taking charge and that he's starting to bully his opponent who is tired. And let me tell you, when you are in the octagon and you're fighting somebody and they're giving you a good go, okay, it's kind of even. But then they get tired. And you can see it. You can see them blowing out of their ass. You can see it when you sit down for your rest between rounds. You're looking at them going, this motherfucker's tired. And you hear coaches say it to the fighters all the time, he's tired. He's tired. Of course, that still makes them dangerous. But when they're tired, they start to make mistakes. And when you make mistakes, the other person starts to take advantage. And then it is the beginning of the end. So there are some reasons why Islam Makhachev is going to win this fight. I'm not saying he's going to win the fight. This is not a prediction. But these are things to think about when you formulate your own idea. Those are reasons. Those are thoughts. Those are simply things to think about. If you are sprinkling a few dollars on this fight, consider those things. But still, hope you're well. Subscribe, ring the bell. I'll see you soon.